Hello and welcome here to the sideboard at SCG Orlando. My name is Ruben Bressler and I am joined by two-time Legacy Open champion, Andrew Schneider. Andrew, thanks for joining me.
No problem.
Your two Legacy Open wins came with this deck, and so this is less of a deck tech and more of a deck profile, why you work so well with this deck. It's Blue-Red Delver, basically a burn deck with blue spells in it.
Right.
Now, I want to point out a couple of cards that have sort of fallen out of favor in recent months. Of course, Delver of Secrets is one of the biggest powerhouses in Legacy, being paired alongside Tarmogoyf, more recently being paired alongside True Name Nemesis. In this deck, its partner in crime is Goblin God.
Yep.
Why is Goblin God so good right now?
Well, he's I don't really know. He's not obviously he's not a better creature than True Name Nemesis. He's not a better creature than Stoneforge Mystic, but he costs 1 and he attacks right away. So him saying 4 damage on him for 1 red that's all we're in the market for.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with the downswing in the number of Baleful Strixes around.
Yeah, that's not a fun card.
And even less Tarmogoyfs too. So
yeah.
he usually can get in for more damage now than he did even a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Another creature in this deck that people sort of fell away from once Deathrite Shaman got printed is Snapcaster Mage, which a lot of people consider to be possibly the most powerful card for Legacy printed in the last 5 years up until some of these newer cards were printed. But this deck makes great use of Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, I think we're the best Snapcaster deck, and like I've said that before. I think we make best use of them.
Sure, you certainly have the most powerful things to snap back. And one of the things that you're snapping back a lot of the time, especially these days with all of the bug decks and the junk decks that are out there, is Price of Progress. Price of Progress, people forget about it, and then they'll take 10 from it, and then they'll tell their friends, you'll never guess what I lost to last
you got
round.
popped.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of Wasteland, of course, Goblin Guide feeding them more non-basics.
Drawing 2 damage.
Yeah, getting more 2 damage into play from the Price of Progress. Forked Bolt makes an appearance in your main deck. It's come in and out of the main deck of the blue-red aggro-ish decks, either Rug Delver or Blue-Red Delver. You have 1 copy in the main deck here, and it's just sort of a hedge.
Yep, it's my 9th bolt. You got to kill Stoneforge Mystic. You have to kill Deathrite Shaman. Like
immediately.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, and this is the best option because it's 1 mana. You can't let Deathrite sit and play for a turn.
And then the random I've killed 2 Lingering Souls. So that's a very hard card for us to beat.
There's a lot of elves in the room today, so taking out elves, noble hierarchs and the like. So we've talked about what's in the deck a little bit, but there's some cards that aren't in the deck that probably deserve to be mentioned.
Sure.
One of them is True Name Nemesis. I'm sure people reading the list down below this video are thinking, there's no True Name Nemesis in this deck. When Osip Lebedovich got 2nd place at the Eternal Weekend, he got 2nd place, he played a deck that was a Blue-Red Delver deck, but it's certainly much different than this one. Why is it good in his deck, and why is it not as good in this version?
His version was more about, he really wanted to grind him out, and we are not interested in that. We run out of cards on turn 3, but I don't know, I've thought about it in the sideboard actually, because if you see my sideboard, there are 4 lava spikes, which is very awkward to look at. But it's for when you don't want a Force of Will in your deck, so you just want to play. I want this game plan. This is how it goes. So True Name. That's the only time True Name's good. It's good when they're playing True Name. Like I don't care.
It's just if you're racing with them, that's good. But their True Names are often better because they have equipment. So another card that doesn't make an appearance in your version of the deck is Young Pyromancer. Is there any particular reason why you don't have Young Pyromancer in here?
Yeah, it's like my favorite card printed in forever, and I wanted to, but it really doesn't. I don't know, it doesn't really fit the plan. Like Snapcaster Mage is way better, Goblin God is way better, Delver is way better, Grimlavamancer is way better. So it's just I couldn't do it. I do like him
in the deck.
Yeah, and I don't think he's better than any of them. Sure, he helps your matchup against some of the tempo decks, but you can use both of them instead. So
the way that I look at it is that Osip's deck is more of a Rug Delver deck that just didn't have green. And your deck is more of a burn deck that just has blue added
for
to
disruption.
it. So it's slightly different.
Yep.
Of course, he had Wastelands as well for disruption package. We could go on and on, but so let's move on to the sideboard. And the thing that does stick out the most is the 4 copies of Lava Spike. Not a card you expect to see as a 4 of in a sideboard. Talk to me about Lava Spike.
It evolved from I was playing Submerges because Rug was my hardest matchup when I was learning to play this deck in Legacy, and it's still popular, but not like it was then. And I would play Submerge, and the Tarmogoyf go on top, they'd redraw it, and I'm like, yep, all right, I bought a turn, right? That's all I did. So one day I thought of it, all my friends made fun of me, and I started playing it, and it's exactly what I want. Anytime I want to take my Force of Wills out of my deck, I just want I want more bolts to do what I want to do. I want to play that kind of game. I don't want to draw situational cards. So the first time I played with it, I played a tournament with it. I loved it. I think I lost to win it in my very first day playing it. I lost to win it in the Invitational with the Lava Spike sideboard, so that's when I was getting more confidence in it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of the danger of some sideboards is that you weaken your deck. You sort of you water down the effect that your deck's trying to do. When adding Lava Spike, you're just adding more power to something you were already trying to do. And so it really fits along with the game plan. Another one that really fits along with the game plan is Smash to Smithereens. Not exactly the strangest card. I think people are pretty used to it by now, but it's definitely a card that people have forgotten about.
Right, and it's more important than ever with that Blue-Eye-Red Stone Blade. It's like you're not going to be able to deal with the true name once it's in play. If that thing has a Jin on it, you can pick your cards up immediately because you're not going to get to play anymore.
Yep.
That's just how it goes.
Stoneforge Mystic's more popular than it's ever been. Mono White Stone Blade or Death and Taxes,
which is a very bad matchup.
Is a bad matchup, but this helps at least a little bit. And Sulfur Vortex also helps with
I love that card.
preventing the life gain from Batterskull or Bristlebrand. Or any of those.
Put it in off the show until I try not to die.
There you go. And your graveyard hate of choice is Surgical Extraction.
Yep.
Graveyard decks aren't as popular as they used to be, although this can serve double duty against not graveyard decks, just being a way to trip up opposing.
Yeah, it's against like some of the combo decks, they shied away from Intuition, but you just have so many bad cards with like Boltingham's not that good in that matchup, so sometimes it's right to bring in Surgical. And because we have Snapcaster Mage, it is the best graveyard like hate spell, and I hate playing them because you slot them in maybe once a tournament, but sure enough, round one I played Tin Fin, so it's
there you go. It's a necessary evil.
Yep.
So there you go. Hunting your third Legacy Open win today, and you're already 3-0. How do you feel about the deck in this metagame?
I play this when it's good and when it's bad, and I actually think it's really good right now because with all these True Name Nemesis decks, like they're casting that off of 3 non-basic lands. So that's my take on it right now.
Most people are casting True Name Nemesis not in Merfolk. They're trying to put equipment on, trying to back it up with Swords to Plowshares and the like, and so a lot better for you. Well, this deck looks, every time I watch you play it, it's your deck in your hands. It's a ton of fun to watch. Thank you for joining me in the sideboard.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it.
All right, Andrew Schneider here at the sideboard of Star City Games Orlando, and we'll be back all day long for more coverage of the Legacy Open.